empowering the farming communities farmer after farmer, emphasizing the role of soil health, and to implementing the best technologies and innovation. The Sustainable Community-Based Action R4DE for Livelihood Enhancement, Upliftment, and Prosperity, or the SCALE-UP program, is indeed one of the most instrumental programs of the Bureau in advancing the agri-fishery sector of the country. And to talk more about the SCALE-UP program, we are joined by no less than the director of the DA-BAR. We are joined by Dr. Janelle P. Soriano.
Magandang araw, Jello. Magandang araw sa iyo, Rick Debert. Gusto ko rin pong batiin ang ating mga partners at lalong-lalo na ang ating mga farmers at mga kasamahan po dito sa SCALE-UP.
Kasama din po natin ngayon ang SCALE-UP National Coordinator, Dr. Rick Debert Pamunag.
Magandang umaga sa ating lahat, sir.
To get things going, why is SCALE-UP relevant? And what was the story behind the development of the SCALE-UP program? Sir Janelle?
Itong programa na ito ay nailunsad po, I think, 3 years ago. But bago SCALE-UP program, may programa po ang BAR, ang Bureau of Agricultural Research. Ito yung Yamang Lupa program. Itong Yamang Lupa program, we are just focused on enhancing the productivity of major commodities. But after reviewing the initial implementation of the program, but of course with the support of the International Crop Research for the Semi-Arid Tropics, and we also value and appreciate, and we also value and recognize the support of the Department of Agriculture during the time of Secretary Prospero Alcala. Kasi we introduced this program sa DA, and through DA-BAR, nagbigay po ng financial support ang DA Bureau of Agricultural Research. But of course, before we implement that Yamang Lupa program, nagkaroon po ng maraming discussion at nagpunta nga rin po yung mga pool of experts as well as mga research managers sa India, sa ICRISAT, para makita kung paano mapaganda yung implementasyon ng Yamang Lupa program. Then after 3 years of implementation the Yamang Lupa program, starting in 2019, we reviewed the results of this Yamang Lupa program. At doon na po pinanganak yung SCALE-UP program. Nagkaroon na ng SCALE-UP program. Ang ibig sabihin po noon, we want to scale the initial outcomes and impacts of the Yamang Lupa program. At dinagdag na po namin dito yung livelihoods saka yung about marketing. Kasi nga, yung Yamang Lupa program, talagang nag-focus kami on how to increase the productivity of major commodities. But beyond that, tinitignan din po natin dito kung paano overall magkaroon ng mas magandang hanap buhay yung ating mga farmers. Now, with this SCALE-UP program now, naglaan po tayo ng pondo para dito. At initially, meron tayong mga pilot regions na kinonsider dito. At itong SCALE-UP program natin ay siyempre po we launched this one dahil gusto natin na mapataas lalo yung productivity or production ng ating mga major commodities. Kagaya ng palay, mais, mga gulay. At sa ngayon may mga fruit trees din tayo ngayon, kakao at iba pang mga mahalagang produkto dito sa bansa. At isa din sa kinonsider natin dito ay yung mga lugar kung saan may mababang ani. At if we talk about the productivity level dito sa bansa, ang lugar na may mga mababang ani dito ay mga rain-fed. Ito yung walang assurance, ito yung walang patubig. No? Yung mga irrigated areas natin, kagaya ng Nueva Ecija, yung mga palay natin dyan, matataas na yung ani dyan. So, mahirap na siyang pataasin. But sa mga areas na nagkukulang ang tubig o totally walang irrigation o ang tawag natin mga rain-fed uplands, so doon tayo. Ito yung challenge sa program. Paano natin itaas ngayon yung yield level o production doon sa mga rain-fed areas? At the same time, doon sa mga rain-fed areas, very poor din ang soil health. No? Hindi maganda yung nutrients niya. Nagkaroon na po ng sabihin natin, naabuso minsan yung paggamit ng lupa natin. Oversupply, over-application of fertilizer, With the advent of climate change na rin po ngayon, madalas yung malalakas na ulan, minsan nagkakaroon ng tagtuyot. So, apektado po yung condition ng lupa natin. Dahil hindi maganda yung kalusugan ng ating lupa, so ang tendency, mababa talaga yung ani. Kaya ito yung binigyan po namin ng pansin. At ito yung dahilan kung bakit nagkaroon tayo ng scale-up program with, of course, the support of the Department of Agriculture and other national government agencies, plus the local government units.
Okay, so with these situations and challenges na kailangan tugunan sa agri-fishery sector sa pamamagitan ng research for development. So we have the scale up. Sir Rick T, bilang ikaw naman ang national coordinator ng scale up, sir, ano yung mga specific objectives ng scale up program? Of course, this will definitely take off dun sa purpose na nilahad po sa atin ni Director Jodel. Sir Rick T?
Thank you, Sir Jello. Magandang araw po sa ating lahat, Director. So inspired from the notable success of the Yamang Lupa program, na-mention po kanina ni Director, from 2013 to 2018. So this scale-up program now aims to scale those RD&E initiatives and technologies that we had by establishing an innovative and sustainable agriculture. And we can achieve this one for specific objectives that our scale-up meron tayo ngayon. So first is the effective program management structure. So we have the DAIBAR and we have our regional networks, yung mga implementers natin down to the provincial, municipal at saka barangay counterparts. And the second objective is agricultural enhancement, yung pag-increase ng productivity natin at the same time managing our natural resource. So, yan kasi yung pinaka-importante. Because scale up, yung mga technologies natin na i-share sa mga farmers are tinatawag natin na science-driven. So, apart from that, we are increasing the productivity of our farmers. Our farm itself we are also maximizing our natural resources. And the third one is, importante din yung capacity buildings and community empowerment natin. Kasi we are talking here about scaling up and not just to scale our RD initiatives, but also to sustain what will happen after the program. So we should empower the community, our partners, not just one cooperator, two cooperators, but we are talking here about clustering. So para makita talaga yung impact po. And the fourth one is effective livelihood, marketing, at saka income enhancement. So doon naman talaga pumupunta yung proyekto ng Department of Agriculture through DAIBAR, that we are not just only increasing crop yields but also the income itself of the farmers. Kasi minsan we have these technologies, maganda yung technology, but when it comes to the cost of the technology, parang naiiwanan tayo. So we are balancing it and eventually we are looking into the income enhancement of the community.
If I may add, Jello and Rick Tibert, nabanggit ko kanina na ang pinakalayunin dito ay mapataas ang production or yung yield ng mga magsasaka natin at saka yung kita. No? Mahalaga ang role ng technologies dito. So, ito yung isang layunin natin base sa nilahad ni Rick Tibert na kailangan gamitan natin to ng mga makabagong teknolohiya. Teknolohiya kung paano mapataas yung kita at saka ani ng production in general. At marami tayo dito sa Barian. We supported a lot of technologies and these are available. Not only BAR, even within or technologies available from our partners. Like, for example, sa regional field offices, sa state universities and colleges, and even local government units, plus the private sector, may mga available na tayong teknolohiya. Ngayon, it's a matter of selecting the most appropriate technologies for us to increase the yield of a certain commodity. For example, rice. Na appropriate doon sa lugar. Kasi maaring yung technology maganda sa Region 5 pero hindi maganda sa Region 2. So, we'll just adapt the most appropriate technology for that specific location. Now, pangalawa, bukod sa technology, yung management. Nabanggit ni Sir Rick Tibert kanina na may component ito ng management. Mahirap i-manage itong program na to dahil assuming lahat ng regions mag-i-implement. Although we started 3 years ago, pilot regions, but although dumadami sila, no? Dumadami sila. Pero kung tayo sa BAR or DA, pag i-manage mo na to at i-implement na sa buong Pilipinas, mahirap ito. Isang malaking opisina to na kailangan talaga magtulong-tulong lahat ng concerned stakeholders from DA national offices and even outside DA, ibang department that we have. One is DOST. Ang DOST through PICARD, may mga available technologies din yan for agriculture and fishery and even livestock. Then number 3 ay yung capacity building. Hindi madaling magsabi o mag-introduce, mag-promote ng bagong teknolohiya sa farmers. Iba yung culture ng ating magsasaka sa Pilipinas. Iba rin yung sistema natin sa Pilipinas. The way we provide interventions to our farmers. Compared to other countries, iba eh. Pag sinabi ng, for example, yung mga parliamentary form of government like India na lang po, Indonesia, Malaysia. Pag sinabi ng gobyerno na gamitin nyo to, lahat yun, gagamit yun. Sa Pilipinas, hindi. Kahit sabihin mo, maganda to, gamitin nyo to, ito yung inputs, ang farmers, may ano pa rin siya, may freedom pa rin siya na hindi pwede yan. May hesitation siya Hindi pwede yan. Doubt pa rin siya No. So, kaya nandun yung management part, at the same time, capacity building. Talagang ituro mo, ipakita mo sa mga farmers natin na maganda itong teknolohiya, which is part of the program. Hindi naman basta-basta ito yung teknolohiya mo, bigay mo agad sa farmers, and expect mo na nagagamitin nila yan. Hindi Kailan gradual, unti-unti. Pakita mo muna sa isang taon, pag nakita nila na maganda, sa susunod na taon, sigurado ko pong gagayahin ng mga farmers. At pag nakita yan ng mga agencies, ma-convince sila, likewise, to provide assistance. Ganun po yung nangyari sa India. Nung una po, kokonti lang po yung involved na agencies Pero nung nakita nila na very successful ang implementation, nakita nila na pwede talagang pataasin yung production ng farmers. Hindi lang isa o dalawang farmers to, kundi lahat ng farmers. Yun ang target po natin dito. Yun ang unique dito sa program. Pagdating sa mga cooperators, we call it farmer cooperators, 1, 5, 10 farmer, champion na tayo dyan Madali nating pataasin yung ani ng farmers na mga 5 o 10 or even 20. But if we talk about thousands, millions, very challenging po yun. At mangyayari nga po yon kung talagang masunod po yung mga activities under the various components of the program.
So kanina nga po nabanggit natin na itong scale up, this is already proven, nakwento nga ng pahapyaw ni Director Junel na in India, ito na yung mga ginagawa. At na-mention ni Sir Ricky kanina na yung mga technologies, they are all research, research proven, research driven. Sir Junel, kwentuhan mo naman po kami yung, kumbaga, kung saan nang galing and what was the successes in particular sa ICRISAT of this principle na naging guide din natin in this scale-up program.
We are being inspired with this Buchitana in India through ICRISAT. So, we are doing our best to really implement the same program with that Buchitana program in India through ICRISAT that we have. I'm part of the team of the ICRISAT then in the implementation of Buchitana. Kaya I brought here in the Philippines the whole concept which are applicable here in the Philippines. Because some of the components of Buchitana in India is not practically applicable here in the Philippines. Kasi iba yung sistema doon, iba dito Iba yung kultura ng farmers doon, iba dito. Iba rin yung pondo. Yung pondo the fund that the government of India has invested to the Buchitana or this program it's a huge money. Talagang they are talking about billions. Now, we are just implementing this right now in a pilot sites, selected regions. And within the region, selected municipality lang yan. Hindi natin ma-cover yung the whole area of our agricultural areas in the regions. So, ang maganda dito sa programa Butchitana na kung saan talagang nakita natin na kailangan din ma-implement dito sa atin ay yung sa soil health, yung soil sampling, massive soil sampling analysis at saka yung paggamit ng mga magsasaka ng soil test-based fertilizer recommendation. Kasi ang farmers po, in the Philippines, hindi natin ginagawa ito every season or every year. Basta kung ano yung nakaugalian o kung ano yung conventional, kung ano yung practice ng farmers, the way they applied fertilizer, year in, year out, every season, wet and dry season, yun na yun eh.
Opo.
Walang nagko-correct, walang tumitingin sa lupa ng farmers kung tama pa ba yung nilalagay ng ating magsasaka. So, with this program, here in India, talagang it's mandatory, it's required na makita muna yung estado ng lupa. So, they invested a lot of money there. Imagine, million hectares. But now, with our scale-up program, mga hundreds or thousand pa lang tayo. But hopefully, ay magkaroon tayo ng additional funds for the expansion of the scale-up program. So again, that's one of the success story, no? At lahat ng lupa talagang inanalyze. Lahat ng lupa nakita nila kung anong kakulangan, anong sobra, o in short, anong meron dun sa lupa nila. Nung nakita nila yan, nalaman nila ngayon kung ano yung dapat i-apply na fertilizer. Yung tamang dami at klase ng fertilizer, including organic fertilizer, yun yung talagang binigay ng gobyerno sa mga farmers. So may mga states sa India ngayon na nalaman nila o na-realize ng farmers, sobra-sobra pala yung nilalagay ko. Imbis na maglagay lang ng 5 sako, ang nilalagay niya 7 sako. So anong ibig sabihin nito? Ibig sabihin, nakasave siya ng 2 bags of fertilizer. At yung 2 bags na yan, loss yan eh. Dagdag sa gastos, hindi sa dagdag kita yon. So na-correct nila yon. May mga lugar din naman na kulang. Imbis na maglagay dapat ng 5, ang nilalagay lang ng farmers 2 o 3. So dahil naglagay sila ng additional fertilizer, tumaas ngayon yung yield nila. Doon naman sa ibang lugar, ibang farmers, na-correct nila dahil sobra-sobra na yung nilalagay nilang pataba, they were able to decrease the cost of production. And more or less same yield, pero naipababa yung cost of fertilizer. On the other hand, sabi ko nga po, dahil kulang yung pataba, tumaas yung income, tumaas yung production nila. So, yun yung actually ni-require ng government of India, particularly state of Karnataka, na dapat lahat ng farmers magkakaroon ng soil analysis. At nagbigay po ang gobyerno nila ng mga soil health cards. Yung soil health cards, bawat farmers ito. Bawat farmer meron siyang card, basehan niya kung ano yung tamang abono na dapat ilalagay sa kanyang lupa o sa kanyang tinatamnan ng mais o palay. Then, nabanggit ko kanina yung convergence, yung pagsama-sama ng lahat ng concerned agencies. Mahalaga din po yun. Kasi ang kagaya din po sa atin, hindi lang naman DA ang tumutulong sa farmers eh. Nandyan ang Department of Agrarian Reform, nandyan ang Department of Interior and Local Government Units, DOST, and other departments. Kaya, pinagsama-sama lahat to, may kautusan ang national government ng India na tumulong kayong lahat. May order na ganun. At nagtulong-tulong nga po lahat ng mga ahensya na yan para doon sa implementasyon ng Butchitana program ng India. At yun din ang gusto nating mangyari. doon sa ating mga pilot projects. At kaya nga po, ang ating national coordinator ngayon, magkakaroon sila soon ng meeting with all the national government agencies under the Department of Agriculture muna. Kasi with BAR, kailangan makuha natin yung support ng ibang ahensya na dapat tumulong sa implementasyon ng programa. Ano-ano tong mga to? Magbibigay lang po ako ng halimbawa. Ang Philippine Rice Research Institute, ang Philippine Mechanization o PhilMec, ang BPI, Bureau of Plant Industry, and others, ang Bureau of Soils and Water Management. So tayo dapat magsama-sama at kung ano yung resources na meron sila, kailangan, maliban dun sa resources ng Bureau of Agricultural Research at saka regional field offices, kailangan dalhin din nila dun sa pilot sites natin na parang ginawa din sa Buchitana program in India. Kasi I tell you, hindi ito maging successful kung bar lang. Can you imagine how much investment that we are allocating for this program? More or less, wala pang 100 million a year sa mga pilot sites natin. Nag-average lang yan ng 10 million pesos per year ang budget ng isang pilot region. Imagine 10 million. We are targeting around 10,000 hectares. Do you think mararating natin yon? Ma-meet natin yung goal? Hindi eh. So ang ginagawa po natin, we are just proving that this scale-up program in the Philippines will be successful. Same with the Buchitana program in India. So pag nakita po yan ng ating mga partners, ang ating, of course, Department of Agriculture and other departments, sana po madagdagan yung support, madagdagan yung budget for the implementation of this scale-up program.
Ayan, thank you, Director Jonel. At maikwento ko nga lang, Sir Ricky, tsaka Sir Jonel, na yung binabagin kanina ni Sir na yung kultura ba, yung nakasanayan ng ating mga farmers. When we visited yung mga implementing regions natin, I myself is a witness nung kinukwento ng mga farmers na, oo, dati kasi nag-work dun sa kaibigan kong farmer yung ganitong fertilizer application. So, ang ginawa ko na lang, inadapt ko na lang. Kasi kung gumana sa kanya, baka gagana sa akin. So, with this scale-up program, isa lang yun sa mga ma-address ng scale-up program. But it's really important, no? Kasi mababawasan nga yung cost of production, mas maitatama natin yung nutrients na kakailanganin ng mga crop na kanilang pinapalaki or pinuproduce. And that leads us to, kung tama po ako, Sir Ricky and Sir Jonel, we are already on the second or third year of implementation ng scale-up. May mga regions po tayo na nasa third year of implementation. Sir Ricky, can you tell us more about yung components ba specifically ng programang ito? And ano na so far yung mga accomplishments, if I may say? Ano na yung mga success stories or yung mga small successes ba? Kasi with the 3 years of implementation, marami na tayong stories na narinig dun sa ating mga pilot regions na this program is indeed really working.
Tama po yan, sir. Marami na po tayong mga accomplishment, Director. And then, even our farmer cooperators, kahit nga yung mga neighboring municipalities na labas po sa ating pilot site, ay nakapagsabi na talaga na maganda yung ating programa. So this scale-up program operates within a robust framework within this 4 component. So yung 4 objectives po kasi na nabanggit namin kanina, yun na din yung components natin. So for the first component, yung effective program management natin. So apart from the national level from BAR, meron tayong tinatawag na Regional Technical Working Group that comprises of our Regional Executive Director, our 2 RTDs, at saka yung project leader. And yung Regional Technical Working Group po natin ay nakapaloob po dun yung provincial representative, municipal representative, at saka barangay representative. So, nabanggit po ni Director Jonel kanina na mahirap kung wala tayong well-structured na management. So, isa yun sa mga component na nakikita natin na maganda yung result sa yung implementation natin ng program. So we had implementing guidelines, and then apart from that, yung mga policies, actually there is one region na yung local government ay gumawa talaga sila ng polisiya intended for their farmers. Kasi ang nangyari po, nung nakita nila from year 1 to year 2, in this year 3 implementation, yung Sangguniang Bayan po nila ay nag-create na ng polisiya po, Director, na a part of their budget from the, kasi merong agriculture committee. So parang nabigyan na po yung program natin. So it is one way of introducing to our farmers na yung LGU talaga ay so they are supporting the program. So yun yung first component. The second component is yung productivity enhancement at saka yung pag-manage ng ating natural resources. So nabanggit po kanina that we have an intensive soil sampling, and with that, with our pilot regions from Region 1, Region 4A, Region 8, Region 9, and Agusan del Sur, we have now a total of 5,110 soil health cards na i-release natin throughout the region in our partners. Ang kagandahan lang po kasi dito sa ating soil health card, apart from that individual soil health card na binibigay natin sa ating mga farmer cooperators at saka farmers, meron tayong tinatawag na general soil health card. Inilagay natin sa mga barangay hall kung saan yung mga tinatawag natin with heavy traffic, heavy foot traffic. Nakikita nila yung recommendation doon. Kahit hindi sila beneficiaries or adopters ng program, nakikita nila yung recommendation. Kasali na sila doon sa recommendation domain. So, ang nangyayari, hindi lang sila yung naging beneficiary, naging adopters na din sila. So, apart from the macronutrients or yung NPK na sinasabi na fertilizer recommendation, na-appreciate ng mga farmers natin yung importansya po ng micronutrients. Opo, kasi dati kung ano lang, NPK, tapos nung nagsimula po yung kahit mong Yamang Lupa way back 2013, nung inintroduce po natin yung micronutrients, nakita din nila na may kahalagahan din pala yung micronutrients. At saka yung third natin na component, yung capacity building at saka community empowerment. So there is also an intensive farmer participation, and we engage around 12,142 beneficiaries and adopters. So ibig sabihin, yung beneficiaries natin, yung direct operators, and we have this spillover beneficiaries, and we are calling these adopters. So we have a total of 12,000 farmer cooperators and adopters. And it covers around 21,000 hectares within our pilot site. So napakaganda po yung nung takbo ng ating capacity enhancement. At lastly, yung component po natin, ito yung effective livelihood marketing at saka income enhancement, na kung saan may ginagawa po yung mga region natin na location-specific initiative, kasi hindi lahat ng marketing strategy at saka livelihood initiative from other region are fitted to a particular region. Kagaya din yun ng soil analysis at saka recommendation. So, we have this close collaboration with DTI in terms of the livelihood at saka yung sa marketing naman natin with our regional AMAD.
If I may add, Jello, no? Ngayon ko lang nabalitaan na may mga local government units na pala na nag-adapt, more or less, hindi man buong programa, at least part of the mechanism, the way we implement the program ay in-adapt ng local government units. In fact, yan ang pangarap natin, yan ang gusto nating mangyari. Perhaps within this year, we need to discuss on how these LGUs, not only regional field offices, that you mentioned about the implementing guidelines, and we need to work out that if possible, i-adapt nila yung complete implementing guidelines of the program. I-work out natin yan sa lalo na sa local government units. Perhaps not only the implementing guidelines, dapat mag-allocate din sila ng pondo nila for the implementation of this program. Para this is in addition doon sa investment ng Department of Agriculture, TRUBAR, and other national government agencies. I would like also to emphasize yung application ng micronutrients na nabanggit ni Sir Rick Tibert kanina. Na alam niyo po ba na nasanay tayo, nasanay yung mga farmers na ang ilalagay lang dyan ay NPK, yung nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Yun lang yung sanay yung farmers na maglagay dyan eh. Bibili ng urea, bibili ng complete fertilizer, bibili ng ammonium sulfates. Pero hindi sila naglalagay ng micronutrients. Ano tong mga to? Mga kagaya ng magnesium, zinc, boron, which is kailangan din ito ng halaman, no? Parang tao din, hindi lang bigas o ulam ang kailangan. Kailangan mo din ng food supplements, kailangan mo ng vitamins, no? Para mas masigla, di ba? At saka isa pa, kung normally kailangan natin ng zinc eh. Kung ano yung ilalagay mo sa lupa na siyang kakainin ng halaman, kung ano yung ma-produce ng halaman na yan, na pagkain, yun din ang ma-intake mo. So in short, ma-improve din yung nutritional value of the food that we take. No? Ma-improve din siya. Kaya mahalaga yung application ng micronutrients na hindi lamang to support the productivity level, higher productivity level, but also improve the quality of our produce na siya natin kinakain.
Thank you, Sir Jonel. And as this shoot or as this episode is currently being produced, ang maganda pala with, katulad ng sinabi ni Sir Ricky kanina, with our objectives ay we are now currently, ngayon mismo, we're actually transforming probably one farming community after another farming community with these objectives, with the technologies, specifically yun nga, kinuwento rin ni Sir Jonel na yung micronutrients, they are really very important. And for sure, yung mga adapters, yung mga partners natin, ito na yung natututunan nila ngayon. At ang maganda pa nga, pati yung consumers, like us, definitely, ay magbe-benefit din dun sa program, not just the producers or the farming communities. Director Jonel, can you tell us, with the upcoming years sa implementation po ng Scale-Up program, so a while ago sinabi natin na we have our pilot regions at naniniwala tayo na hindi tayo titigil, na not until siguro yung nakita nating success sa India with the Buchitana principle, hopefully makita sa Pilipinas. So alam natin na there will be additional implementing agencies, dadami tayo. Sir Jonel, what are the upcoming activities? Ano po yung ways forward po ng ating Scale-Up program?
Right now, we are really pushing for additional budget for the Scale-Up program. We mentioned about the initial pilot regions. In fact, +1 local government unit-led program. So I think 5 or 6 pa lang sila. We added 1 region this year, Region 2 is included. So marami pang regions na wala. And they are requesting, they are requesting BAR to also allocate funding for the implementation of a Scale-Up program in their regions. So hopefully po, ma-approve yung, we propose additional budget for starting 2026 para ma-cover na sana lahat ng regions. No? At bukod doon, pag naibigay po yung nire-request nating pondo para dito, in fact, we are requesting around 1 billion pesos for this for next year. Para talagang mapadami yung ma-cover natin na farmers lalo na at kagaya nung mga initial pilot province natin. But within the Scale-Up program, as part of the planning and review workshop that we are doing annually through BAR, we initiated the planning workshop. With that activity, tinitingnan namin kung tama ba yung pagka-implement ng program, tama ba yung implementing agencies, nasusunod ba yan, hindi ba, ano ba yung mga challenges na na-encounter, mga problema, the way we implement the program. So, ina-assess namin yun every year. May national level every year, tapos bawat region, nagkakaroon din yan ng mga small group workshop and meeting. So, we will sustain that approach para makita talaga natin kung nasusunod ba, na possible ba na ma-realize ba yung objective natin o hindi. So, pagka may mga nakita tayong challenges, immediately we are setting options and alternatives para ma-address po yun. Then bukod dun sa crops, as part of the results ng aming discussion, we are just discussing yung crops dito, like rice, corn, vegetable, fruit trees. We are also planning to expand the commodity, the commodities that we want to focus on. Ano itong mga ibang commodities na meron tayo, which is part of the priority commodities of DA. Livestock. Dapat mayroon din tayong livestock na rin dito later. Hopefully next year. Mag-identify tayo ng pilot region ulit. Same region, but we need to expand the coverage. Not only for crops, but also for livestock, for fishery, and for additional horticultural crops. Kung pwede pa yung mga mariculture natin, mga aquaculture natin, kung may mga coastal areas doon, raising for example seaweeds or mga other commodities na available. So i-consider na rin natin to. In short, we will not just focus on crops and fruit trees or orchard. We are also thinking and planning to include livestock, fishery, and other important commodities.
So dapat abangan ng ating mga partners na mas maraming commodities in the near future ang maisasama natin sa Scale Up. And at the same time, mas marami tayong partners, mas maraming partnerships yung mabibuild natin with the future implementing agencies na makakapartner po natin. And a while ago, na-mention ni Director Jonel na isa sa ini-enforce ng Scale Up program is the convergence, the collaboration, the partnership. At it was really emphasized na hindi kaya ng isang agency eh. 'Di ba? Talagang sinabi ni Sir Jonel kanina na hindi kaya ng BAR, hindi kaya ng DOST, na sila lang, because we're changing ang laki, napakaraming hectares ng farming communities. And this is where yung dynamics, sir, ng different roles ng ating mga partners, may kanya-kanyang role. At bawat role na yon is really very important. Now, Sir Ricky, can you tell us more about ano yung mga specific roles ng ating mga crucial role players?
First and foremost, we would like to extend our thanks and gratitude sa DA BAR for spearheading this program. I am also extending this gratitude from our different regional implementers, even our farmers. Nagsabi kasi, sino ba yung si BAR? So they are extending. In the case naman po ng ating mga partner, say for instance, yung mga convergence natin. So yung sa seeds natin, we are partnering with PhilRice. Say for instance po yung mga kasi we are focusing on may mga regions tayo or pilot sites na rain-fed, may mga irrigated din. So what we are doing is we are partnering with PhilRice, and yung produce nila from the next gen project, yung mga next generation na mga 500, 600 series na mga rice varieties, yun yung ginagamit natin. And PhilRice is one also of our partner. Diyan. Yung for mechanization natin, say for instance, we have in Dimataling in Zamboanga del Sur. It is one of our pilot site. Kasi kanila dry seeded eh. So, nagpartner din tayo sa Pilmec for the rice seeder. So, for BSWM naman, we have this RSL, Regional Soils Laboratory within the regions, and we are partnering them for our soil analysis and even the soil mapping. And we have also partnering with DTI for the trainings, and especially yung mga product development packaging natin. Yung DTI po yung nakatoka doon, and we are very fortunate that among the regions nakita natin na we have this strong collaboration. And with ETI also, kasi may mga regions na yung mga trainings nila parang hitting two birds at a time na eh. Pag scale up, pero yung ATI yung nagkakandak. So may close collaboration na ginagawa doon. So definitely these line agencies are helping us. Kaya sinasabi na no man is an island. So hindi natin makukuha yung tinatawag natin na agricultural productivity at saka enhancement talaga pag si Department of Agriculture lang. We will ask the support from these line agencies and even outside DA na magtulungan tayo for the upliftment of our agricultural farming communities.
Director Jonel, can you tell us more about yung mga specific roles po ng ating mga partners towards the successful implementation of this Scale Up program? Sir Jonel?
Mahalaga po yung role ng DA Regional Field Offices dito. with the support of the Department of Agriculture, field operations. Kasi ang field operations natin talagang sila talaga yung namamahala ng halos kabuuan ng trabaho ng Department of Agriculture sa ating bansa. Sa ating mga pilot regions, importante yung role ng DA Regional Field Office. Being the chair of the committee or the program leader. Sila yung program leader dyan kailangan they must strictly follow the implementing guidelines of the program. Kung meron mang mga kailangang i-enhance, i-modify sa implementing guidelines, kailangan pag-usapan ng grupo, ng team sa region, at saka i-elevate sa national with BAR para tignan natin kung tama ba yung kailangan bang i-modify yung implementing guidelines. Kasi in the implementing guidelines, nandun na lahat Nandun na kung paano patakbuhin, paano i-implement yung programa Yun yung parang vehicle for us to attain the goal. Pagka defective yung guidelines, ibig sabihin hindi makakarating sa goal Yun. At yan yung role ng DA Regional Field Offices natin so far. Pangalawa, yung local government units. Nabanggit ni Rick Tibert kanina na may mga LGUs na nag-adapt part of the mechanism o part of the components ng program, which is good. At sabi ko nga po, sana hindi lamang basta i-adapt yung guidelines, yung strategies ng program, kundi dapat maglaan din sila ng pondo dito. Mag-invest din sila. Kasi at the end, pag tumaas kasi yung kita at ani ng farmers, constituents nila yun Farmers nila yun At saka malaking accomplishment na rin ng local government units po yun. Kung tumaas ang production, ibig sabihin tumaas ang gross domestic product ng lugar nila. Maaring region, province, or municipal, or even barangay nila. So, yun ang magandang contribution nila yon at magandang imahe sa kanila yon that they were able to increase the production level ng palay, mais, o whatever. Then, pangatlo po, yung role ng national government agencies. That includes the research and development agencies. Doon sa mga research agencies, including SUCs state universities and colleges, we should not stop developing technologies, more appropriate, more advanced technologies. Kasi yan ang kailangan natin. Hindi lamang technology related to soil health. Dapat may mga ma-produce din tayong mga new varieties, new farming practices, new management of pests, management of water, and other cultural crop management practices na meron tayo. Continuous dapat po yun. At yung technologies na ma-produce o ma-develop ng mga research institution, yun ang gagamitin natin. Yun ang ating idadagdag doon sa intervention natin para tumaas yung yield at saka income ng farmers. Pang-apat, yung role ng private sector. Yung private sector po dito, nabanggit ko po kanina, and in reality, they are more effective than us in commercializing technologies or products. May mga tao sila sa ground dyan At nandyan lang sila. Tayo na nasa gobyerno, nandyan lang tayo pag may monitoring. Nandyan tayo pag may meeting. Nandyan tayo pag may concerns tayo with our partners, with our farmers. Pinupuntahan natin. Pero ang private sector, dahil siyempre they are introducing and selling their products, mas intensive yung kanilang extension works dyan. Kaya with the private sector now, masusustain ngayon yung provision of or yung availability of technologies because of them. Kasi sila na yung parang outlet ng available technologies. For example, fertilizer, seeds, yung pesticide or insecticide na appropriate doon sa crops nila. So pag available lahat to, ma-access lahat to ng farmers. Even without the support of the government, DA for example, kung nandyan yung available yung products o technology through the private sector, bibilhin ng farmers yan. Kahit mahal pa yan. Dahil ngayon nga po, may mga farmers tayo na bumibili nga ng mga mamahalin na fertilizer Kahit mahal yan. Kasi alam nila na mas effective. Dahil effective, mas comfortable sila, mas convinced sila na gumamit ng mas mamahalin at mas may kalidad na teknolohiya. Then lastly, the farmers. Ang farmers with the component ng capacity building, kailangan ituloy-tuloy yung capacity building with the introduction of advanced and new technologies. Sundan mo ito ng pagpapaliwanag. Hindi naman pwede na bigyan mo ng seeds. Maaaring iba yan kung paano i-produce o pagandahin. Bigyan mo ito ng fertilizer, paano siya gamitin. So, i-educate mo yung farmers. Sabi ko nga po, we'll assured and we will guide the farmers kung paano nila i-adapt yung technologies, paano nila ito i-sustain. Dapat masustain yan. At dahil tuloy-tuloy yung generation of technologies, so every technology na ma-generate ng ating mga research institution as partner, including our regional field offices kasi may research function din po sila, ay dapat i-introduce yan regularly sa ating mga farmers para tuloy-tuloy. So bawat partner po dito may mahalagang role. At kung wala yung isa dito, maaaring hindi natin ma-implement ng tama yung program at lalong-lalo na hindi natin ma-realize yung goal natin, which is magkaroon ng mataas na production at magkaroon ng mas magandang kita ng ating farmers. And generally, mas gumanda yung buhay ng ating mga farmers.
Thank you, Sir Janelle and Sir Ricky, for really sharing with us yung, kumbaga, yung mekanismo ba, specifically yung dynamics ng iba't ibang partners natin. And Director Janelle underscored a while ago na yung mga partners natin, surely meron silang niche, meron silang specific role at alam natin lahat na tayo ay papunta dun sa inaasam natin na success, katulad nga na nangyari sa India with the Buchitana Principle. Now, we surely are engaging or capturing the attention of our partners in general. Siguro, dun muna tayo sa mga implementing agencies, Sir Janelle. How does an RFO, for example, or an LGU partner with the DA-BAR with this scale-up program? Ano yung mga kailangan nilang gawin? What are probably your advices as well, sir, para sila po ay makapartner natin with this scale-up program?
I mentioned about the understanding about the program. We need to promote this one nationwide. At kagaya nga po, I asked Rick Tibert to present some papers abroad and also papers dito sa ating bansa, mga national convention or conferences. No. Without understanding the program, hindi sila magkaka-interest. Ayaw din naman natin na ipupus natin ito dahil alam natin maganda. Paano kung hindi nila maintindihan to? Paano kung hindi naman tama doon sa lugar nila? Hindi naman okay hindi naman appropriate yung program sa lugar nila. So, ang ginagawa natin ngayon, we are inviting possible partners dito, especially local government units. At pinapaliwanag natin ito sa kanila. Pagka naintindihan nila, o in general, nagustuhan nila yung programa, doon tayo mag-uusap. Doon tayo mag-uusap kung paano yung umpisa. Paano yung umpisa? Ang bottom line yan, makuha natin yung commitment nila. Yung 100% support nila.
It's really important to really embrace the purpose, the essence, the design of the scale-up program. Because it's only when, katulad nga ng sinabi ni Director Janelle Soriano na, it's only when our partners become accountable and eventually yung successes, yung magiging outcomes, yung magiging impact dun sa kanilang lugar ay magiging sustainable over time. Now, kanina na-mention na rin po natin na ngayon mismo marami ng accomplishments, marami ng successes, marami ng success stories ang scale-up program. Now, on your level naman, Sir Ricky, ano naman kaya yung mga advices mo sa atin pong mga future magiging partners, and what will be your advices as well doon sa mga partners natin in the LGU level, you being the National Program Coordinator?
So what we are trying to convene now is to encourage further sa support ng ating LGU, especially yung mga tulong nila in regards to Say for instance yung pondo for Agriculture Committee. Kasi nabanggit ko po kanina na hindi naman lahat ng mga LGU ay say for instance di mataling yung LGU nila ay 100% supporting the program. But this is also an encouragement and a call for other LGUs na naging partner na natin from different regions na maglaan din, no, ng ganyang pondo for this particular program in order for us to have this collaboration, successful na collaboration. And with the partner implementers, especially for our DARFOs, we will continue to scale up the program, and then we will work more on the sustainability and engaging more collaborative efforts, particularly on the issues kasi every region may mga issues yun na pwede nating matap. Na-mention ko po kanina na pwede kasi sila doon sa part ng information dissemination. And even those, meron kasing tayong site na yung program natin ay isa sa ginawa nilang thesis. So, napakaganda na collaboration yon. At saka sa product development kasi may mga existing tayo ng mga private companies and institutions na pwede nating makulab. So, it is also an encouragement na mag-collaborate tayo for this purpose.
Maraming salamat, Sir Junel and Sir Ricky. And as we formally reach yung end ng episode, malamang gusto pa natin talagang talakayin pa yung iba't ibang angulo ba nitong Scale Up program. But as for this particular episode, I believe we are able to give them a glimpse, a very substantial glimpse of what the Scale Up program really is. Ngayon naging na po ito, tradition na ito sa RT episode po natin na I will be asking you what will be your shortest yet very motivational, if I may say, message to our partners. Let's now appeal to our partners.
We need to cultivate the spirit of cooperation dito. No? Kasi BAR cannot do this alone. And even DA cannot do alone. And even us, myself, I cannot steer everything this initiative. No? We need a concerted effort. We need the integrated support of all the key players or stakeholders for this program. No? I always emphasize the role of LGUs here. Hopefully, we are going to that direction that the Scale Up program is a program where local government unit is the one who leads. No? Just like in India. It's not always DA or DA BAR to lead. No? Mas maganda po na local government units yan. No? Kaya yun yung pagtulong-tulungan natin, sama-sama po nating ipalaganap itong programa, i-implement itong programa. At siyempre po, dun sa ating mga pilot regions, kailangan maipakita talaga natin na the goal that we are aiming for is possible.
Sa akin naman po ay para sa ating mga project implementers, the men and women behind our success from the Yamang Lupa program until ngayon sa ating scale up, from our project leaders, regional technical working group, nabanggit ko na po kanina yung DABAR. So, ipagpatuloy lang po natin yung pagtatrabaho natin sa field, and I would like personally to congratulate our men and women na nagtatrabaho sa field. And another thing is siguro one way to encourage is that yung pilot sites po kasi natin ay magiging model among other regions. So it will then be our legacy. Legacy yan ng ating mga regional directors, RTDs at saka mga project leaders, as well as the mga proponents ng ating program na by doing this program, Scale Up program, at least once in a lifetime naging bahagi tayo sa isang napakagandang programa ng Department of Agriculture, at we able to uplift the lives of our farmers, and through this program, bahagi tayo ng program. So it will be then a fulfillment na din sa atin.
muli maraming salamat. If I may also express our gratitude sa lahat po ng ating mga farmer partners, sa lahat po ng mga researchers, ating po mga implementing agencies, and yun nga, manifesting yung successes din sa ating mga future partners and implementing agencies. So maraming salamat. Director Junel, thank you so much for joining us in this episode.
Thank you.
Maraming salamat po. Sir Rick T, all the way from Zamboanga, talagang pumunta pa dito to really share with us the good news na yung mga successes nga ng Scale Up, and at the same time to motivate us more dahil yung pinagtutuwang-tuwangan po natin, pinagbabakas-bakasan natin na programa ay talagang nakakatulong na at makakatulong pa sa ating farming community. So muli, maraming salamat po. At dito po nagtatapos ang episode ng ating Research Talks for the first episode of Research Talks for 2025, and hopefully we are able to engage and really spark something in the minds of our partners, be it from the RFO, be it from the FCA, be it from the local government units. So muli, maraming salamat po. Patuloy po ninyong subaybayan pa ang iba't ibang impormasyon, iba't ibang magagandang balita tungkol or patungkol sa mga research for development efforts, projects, programs ng DA Bureau of Agricultural Research in collaboration with our partners. Paki-follow na din po ang aming website, that's bar.gov.ph. So for you to get to know more about BAR, pwede din po ninyong i-follow ang aming social media accounts. So we have our FB page, we have our IG account, and we also have our YouTube account. So maraming salamat. This has been your host, Jello. Maraming salamat, and this is The Research Talks.